1 more minute to go. Another 10 seconds, last 10 seconds, 5 seconds. And the poll is ended. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Danny, over to you. You're muted, Danny.
Okay, all right. So thanks a lot, Abhishek, once again for your good presentation and being part of this platform. Okay, truly we are creating world-class presenters and trainers. I think the screen is still okay. I think the screen has to become better. Is this okay? Right. So as we have been telling you time and again, we have not listened to any presentations of anybody. We are just listening to everybody the first time, and everybody is doing a great work in conveying a meaning. Yeah, we are not trying to sell anything, but we are trying to empower people, and that's what this platform is all about. Well, there's lots of questions that's coming up as to what this Pay What You Want program is all about. And I see a dynamic audience because people come in and people leave. So we also know that this video that is being played for 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes is also a bit short. So you might miss out on salient features that Mr. Arun Subramaniam is trying to say. So many people are asking about the dates, which has also come on the chat. The program is on April 25th. It's a Sunday. We have got two sessions of it. 2 sessions means 2 parts. The reason is that instead of having a 4-hour together, we will have 2 parts from, it's going to be from 10:30 to 12:30, then 2 to 4. So therefore, in this time, you're going to get lots of inputs on persuasion, the science of shared solution, a very, very important subject, because manipulating, coercing, and exploiting people is not leadership. Ability to persuade is very important. And once you do that, there is a buy-in from people. There's a willing cooperation. So therefore, you're not stressed and people are not stressed, and everything goes in a very, very organized and harmonious manner. So this is a very important program. I wish and urge that you come in. And as I told you, you coming in, there is 2 clear benefits that you're going to get. One is that you're going to get the power to persuade people and help them to buy in what you want to say. People should want to do what you want them to do and not what you compel them to do. A very important trait. And with Mr. Arun Subramaniam's 4 decades of experience, sure, it's going to be a massive program, because having been through many of his programs, every word, every minute is wonderful. There's no dull moment at all. So for the benefit of people who joined in and for the benefit of people who might have missed out on some salient points, I would like Durga Prasad to play that 4.5-minute video once again. Kindly go through it and listen to it. You get more insights into the same thing that you're seeing for the 3rd time.
Come, friends. Join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it correctly. Conquer the world. Wife, husband, or children. Peer, subordinate, or even your boss. Friend, foe, or a complete stranger. Believe me, no one is going to be immune to your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand, what is this video about? This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In Who Are You Talking To, I will give you valuable insights, principles, and teach you tactics to influence people and get them to do what you want. Well, before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the number one leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2,300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. Two psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop. Who are you talking to? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest and motivate even the meekest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Right. So the details are there. You can just go through that. As I told you, the contribution that you're doing goes towards building a very, very powerful organization to create trainers who can empower the world. The power of the trainer is that one empowered person is good enough to empower a whole lot of people, a community in itself. So therefore, we are in a very noble profession of trainers, and many of the trainers need support and need guidance. And this platform is certainly providing that. So therefore, the date's also told to you, and the time of the program is also told to you. Kindly be part of it and contribute and make a difference. Pay what you want is the message. Well, it's nice that we heard two good talks, one on emotional intelligence, where we were told what goes around comes around and you need to relate with people through the heart by Mr. Kabra. And then we had Mr. Verma talk about perceptions and never ever judge a person, because life is dynamic and things are dynamic. And now we have the third speaker of this day, a person who is a very committed person, who is going to talk about a very important subject, golden moments of life, golden jubilee year of war. Probably a person who is young at heart, who is always willing to learn, always willing to contribute. And today, if we people are safe in our air-conditioned room, sitting on a webinar and getting empowered, we must also know there are lots of people out there guarding our country, and therefore we are having this privilege. So this person belongs to that community of people who are giving their life, their comfort, and guarding this land. A wonderful person indeed, and we with this wisdom is going to share with us the golden jubilee year of war, golden moments of life. He is the ex-Indian Navy sailor and an IATD certified trainer and certified counselor. Ladies and gentlemen, I have immense pleasure, and please join me in welcoming the third speaker, Mr. Narendra Nayak. Yes, Mr. Nayak.
Thank you, Daniel. for this wonderful introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 5-10 years back, if somebody had told me that I am going to speak about the war, Navy life, I would have laughed at it, because that would have been the biggest joke. Because 5-10 years, up till 2 years back, I feel, I felt very insulted when somebody said I am ex-serviceman. There was a reason for that. But I'll go back to that afterward. But today, whole nation is celebrating the victory of 1971 war against Pakistan to liberate Bangladesh. Completing 50, we are running through 50th year. And in the right time, my life took a drastic change. I changed my thinking about my life and even my past life. So here I am going to share with you the active experience of the war, where I was actively participating. Before going into details of war and Navy, let me share my screen and explain to you Let me share my screen. My subject is already known. So, Golden Jubilee Year of War and Golden Moments of my life during that war. I am Narendra Naik. I was born on 28/11/1950 in a small village near Gadag called Gajendragad. My childhood happened in Bangalore only, where my schooling and everything was done. And this is the earliest photo of mine I could lay my hands on. This right side photo, actually I thought it was my sister's photo till I came to high school. Then only I came to know that it is my photo. And this was taken on the day my, what they call first haircut was done. I was only 2.5 years old. Then my schooling started in Bangalore, in school in Bangalore South called Rashtriya Vidyalaya, where I joined. And my schooling had lots of problems because I was a very slow learner. Nothing went into my head. I had a lot of difficulties, beatings from both at school and at home. And I was also the second son, third sibling out of 7 siblings. My elder brother was good in studies, so I was always compared and I was not good, and a lot of beatings I used to take. So, but wherever the chance came, I tried to excel myself. When I was in high school, I became the first sergeant in the Air Wing NCC that newly started in our school. I was the first band team where I was a side drummer. Whenever I got an opportunity, I was good in singing, so I used to sing and make myself presence felt. So I was always into that mode, that try to excel wherever it is possible. That was my schooling. But after high school, it was very, very difficult for me. So I told my father also, but I will not be able to take a further study because I cannot. My mathematics was very, very low, and I couldn't, with great difficulty I passed. So I was very, very below average student. But he insisted that I should join diploma, and I joined diploma. So you know the result, what can happen. So I said this education is not my cup of tea. So I wanted to do something else. I didn't know what to do. During that time, see, I went for a movie. And in a new Indian news review, no, earlier they used to show in movie, Indian news review, all news happenings in the country. In that one, there was a Navy clip was there where I saw my childhood friend in that clipping. So that was, he was living next to our house. So, and after a few days, I met him. And I also met another friend. Both had joined Navy. And this man gave the hint, how to join Navy, how to ask what branch you should select. So he told, unless you get electrical branch, don't join Navy. Electrical is the only king branch you can have a good life. So you try for electrical branch only. Then I tried and I got selected. I demanded the electrical branch and I got it. And I got it and I joined Navy on the 10th of January 1969. And I landed in the training base. It is INS Kunjali in Colaba, Bombay. And I was shocked to know that that was the detention quarter base. That was the naval jail where we were trained for basic training. So basic training was very, very tough. For 3 months only, we learned a lot. Civilian life was converted, they transformed the civilian to the different person. Physical exercise was the main thing. And here you are seeing, this was a photo was taken on the day of my passing out from Kunjali. And this dress is very unique. This is an old dress actually. This dress is very unique and it is called 6A dress. You will not believe you need 2 people's assistance to wear this dress. And there are so many attachments which you have to make it perfect wear. And it is a white dress. It should not spoil when you are going for a parade. So that type of dress, this is the first photo I took after joining Navy. Then after passing out, we had some demonstration parades like, you can see me here. This is me. And after that, we had a group photo taken of each class. We were about 240 people in that batch. That was the biggest batch. And these are all the officers in charge of training. And he is our instructor for the class. And he is our chief instructor. These 2 are training in charges. He is Captain Randava and he was captain of INS Kunjali and the commander executive officer Kunjali. And you will find me here standing. So after this training, we landed in Valsura, INS Valsura. It is in Jamnagar. That is our electrical base where electrician training is given. There I got trained 6 months for electrical things to know about ship, what sort of electrical power will be there, how to maintain, what all need to be maintained. Everything was taught. And there are special equipment like gyro compass and echo sounders, plotters, everything. It was taught in 6 months and we were qualified electricians. From after becoming, then we were posted. This is the first ship of mine. This is class destroyer INS Ganga, which was placed in Southern Command, that is in Cochin. This is the very, very, very toughest ship, toughest life on board this ship. It was old ship. It was commissioned in somewhere 1927, and I joined in 1969 November. But whatever life gave, I enjoyed it. I adjusted. There were 140 people. My mess used to be here in this under this deck, and these are all the guns, 4-inch guns, one gun in the front and one gun in the forward portion of the ship, and this is one anti-aircraft gun. This is a Hunt class destroyer. Few years first year I enjoyed, because that 69 we had a first president's review. V.V. Giri was president, and we had a president review and beautiful sailing experience. I had a lot of sailing. We did exercises and other things. I enjoyed sailing, unless it was in June, July. June, July sea will be very rough. First experience was a bit strange, but after that I got used to it.
No sound.
No, sir.
No, I think it's fine. Go ahead, Mr. Naik.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
And this is our staff. When I became senior, you will find me here. This is me. This is our staff. And that when I was in that ship for 2.5 years, I had a lot of experience. Experience in the sense, lot of adventures, things happened, few nasty accidents happened. I lost one of my very good close friend, and he was also a very, very good singer. So many things happened when I was on board the ship. And the biggest thing that happened was 1971 war. How it happened? This suddenly on 1st of
Sir,
December.
can't hear, sir.
My voice is okay.
Can't hear.
No,
No,
everything is
please
fine.
check your audio, sir. Check your mic.
Check your audio, please. Check your audio, please. So,
individual problem. Yeah.
so suddenly on 1st of December, a sailing order came. Those who had gone out, those who were family men were called back on board ship, and suddenly a sailing order was issued. One more thing I want to tell you is, we need 4 hours to make this ship move, because we have to flash up the boiler. So that takes a lot of time. In that 4 hours time, everybody was called back on ship, and there was a sailing order. We didn't know where we are going. So we just sailed off, Cochin. And we were in an open sea. By evening, we had a clear lower deck. Clear lower deck means announcement will be made. So everybody down the deck has to come up on upper deck and come to the front side of the ship and assemble there, and whatever announcement they will make it. So the captain came and he announced that they are in war. Everybody was shocked. We had expected something strange is going to happen. And it told we were in war. Surprisingly, few of the family men, started crying also. They were worried. They were newly married. They are in war. They don't know what will happen. So they were worried. And we, the youngsters, I was only 21-year-old that time. We were excited. Few of my batchmates and few of my department people, we were really excited. And captain told that we are in war, and already know that our ship is very old. Our radar or communication equipments are also not to the level of new ships. So I request everybody to be alert, watchful around what is in the open sea, especially during night time. You see any light or anything, you have to inform the bridge. Bridge means this is the top portion of the ship where duty people will be there. Wheelhouse it is there. So he requested that. So we were very excited. And very next day, we had we had an action station. Action station means we are in actual war. Means something is going to happen. So everybody will be allotted certain places, every department guy will be there in that group. every 5-6 group in different areas of ship, different areas where lifeboats will be there, and those areas we have to assemble, and we have to be very watchful. If any action takes place, we have to safeguard the equipments and other things there. That is called action station, and it was called out. So everybody was worried, but there was no communication. We didn't know what is happening, but we were in action station. My action station used to be somewhere here. So that gear room, so steering motor starters were there. So I had to man that one. So we didn't know what was happening. Nearly 1.5 hours, it was very tense moment in our life. So 10:30 to 11:30, 12 o'clock, we were in action station. We didn't know what is happening. And suddenly 2 depth charges, you may not be able to see clearly here. Here, there is a stand and some metal drums like this. That is one ammunition actually. There will be detonators in the metal body. So there will be magnets. So that will be thrown into the water. And when it goes in contact with any metal like submarine and other things, it will get ignited and it will explode and it will destroy the submarine. That is the duty of that depth charge. So it was fired, two depth charges were fired. I mean, fired in the sense it was dropped into the sea. That sound we could hear, but we didn't know what is happening again. 12 o'clock, action station was called out. Nothing happened. Action station was called out. A petty officer, a junior commissioned officer, who was in charge of echo sounder and plotting. That is an equipment, they will leave the transducer under the sea and echoes will come. If there is any disturbance, like submarine moving or any vibrations are felt, that will be recorded in the plotter. He brought a plotter sheet to outside and he was crying. He told, what a chance we had. We traced the submarine. We delayed firing the depth charge just by 2-3 minutes and we missed the submarine. As nothing happened, everybody laughed at him. Everybody said, it may not be submarine. That's why we were made to sit in an action station for 2 hours and nothing happened. And it may not be submarine, it may be a big fish, because that vibration you must have felt it. He told, no, submarine was there. But it was not there, so nothing happened. We just forgot it. On 4th, friends, we received a message, signal, that PNS Ghazi, a Pakistan submarine, sunk. I don't know, there is a lot of stories behind that. Sunk mysteriously off Visakhapatnam. PNS Ghazi was sunk off Visakhapatnam. That news came to our ship. You just can't imagine what was the mental state of all the people on board ship. That radar plotter, a petty officer, told, this is what I told you. This is the submarine which we had traced. How badly we missed. If we had sunk that submarine, our whole ship's company would have been, rewarded. We would have got additional medals, additional laurels like that. He was crying, and we also felt. Because chill went in through our spine. Yes, we missed the submarine. We escaped also. That was the condition. Then nothing happened for 2 days. We used to come back to Cochin after 4 hours and take the fuel and go back again. 2 times it happened. One time we came and went back. On 7th, we were just, I was not on duty. So this is actually engine room. This is engine room. And on top deck, there is some where we can sit. Vegetable locker and all is there. So on that we can sit. So we were sitting there with few of our friends. And suddenly one fellow told, can you see some light in the distance? I saw, and yes, very distant, very foggy and light. I can see that light. Then suddenly we ran to bridge and we told the duty officer that there is light. Whole Indian waters was out of bounds for all movements. No merchant ship, nothing, no vessel can move. So we were guarding that actually. We were guarding that movement, and also few merchant ships were there in Sri Lanka with ammunition which was to be delivered to Bangladesh, Pakistan's ammunition. We wanted to stop that one. So we were there. Now what happened? This light was really scary. So immediately our officer, he ordered the signalman to do the signaling through lights we do. So he signaled asking, who are you? No answer. Then he called the commanding officer. He came and he changed the course of the ship and started moving towards that light. We had gone half the distance, means it was about 5 to 7 kilometers away. And our CO asked the signalman to signal once again. Keep on asking, who are you? Then by the time we had gone a little closer. At one point of time, from that vessel, we knew that there is a vessel now. From that vessel, that ship, a huge, about 6 feet diameter arc light, that is the brightest light, white light. He switched on, he opened the shutter for a few seconds and closed. When he opened, our ship, a tiny ship, was a target like anything. And what we could see, about 7-8 people only out of 140, 7-8 people only could see was a very, very, very huge aircraft carrier. I didn't see any such carrier afterwards. Very huge aircraft carrier and 2 more ships, small frigate-like ship following it. Then we got our commanding officer asked the headquarters what to do. Then they told, leave it and just move away from there. The next day, we came to know that US Enterprise, an aircraft carrier with 3 more frigates, is in Indian waters. So we had a golden opportunity to see the 7th fleet. Only we 10 people or 7 people have seen. Nobody has seen. That was the rarest thing that happened. Then we came back two times. We came back for fueling and went back. 3 ships were there. Our same class ships were there. Ganga, Godavari and Gomati. So in turn, we were changing our duty. Second time we had come for fueling. That was on 9th. That was the black day for Indian Navy and that 71 war. If that thing had not happened, it was a spotless victory for Indian Navy. But that day, off Gujarat coast, off Karachi, our ship, INS Kukri, anti-submarine frigate, was sunk by a Pakistan submarine. 69 we passed out and 71 I lost 3-4 very, very close friends in that ship. About 100 people died. 68 somehow survived, but 100 people died. Even my team photo, what I have shown, this person's brother died in that ship. He is Parminder Singh. So his brother died. So many people lost life. That was the only backmark. We all felt very, very bad. But it happened. Then we also had some exercises happening when we were in war. One of our officers had to be shifted to another ship. So they couldn't wait to go back and do it. So this exercise we call jack stay. This is my ship actually, this frameware what you see. And from our ship, this man is going to INS Godavari. This is the one exercise we did during the war. That was also one of its kind. So taking photo was very, very difficult those days, you know. So somehow I got this photo. After this war experience, yes, so many incidents and accidents, everything happened. In 1972 March, I left that ship and went to our headquarters in Bombay. And after that, I served on board one submarine mothership for 7-8 months. Then I went to INS Valsura back for a advancement training. After training, I was posted in INS Valsura only. There I took over powerhouse as an in charge. So this is me in a winter uniform. 6 months we will be wearing this in uniform, and then 6 months we will be wearing a cotton uniform. He was our senior who got transferred, so I took over the powerhouse. We had our own powerhouse system, and this is the staff I had to maintain. This is the Navy life I had. And biggest thing I wanted to share was this war. I told you I was ashamed of called ex-serviceman. And today I am sharing this excitingly. I am excited. Why? Because I changed my way of thinking. I changed the way I looked at my life, past life also, even Navy life also. When I looked back, especially after doing this IITD training, and few of my colleagues, my friends, I will stop sharing for a short period because I have got something to show you also. So I will stop share and talk to you. Please wait for a minute. So after IITD, few of my friends, well-wishers, they told that, sir, you have got a lot of experience. You have to share your experience through your presentations. We all need it. Then I told, yes, I'll do it. Then I started looking back at my life, what it can teach me, what it taught me, and what it can give as a teaching to my friends or to the public. Then when I started looking, I came across, 2-3 things which, really shocked me. First thing, I should feel proud about myself for having served the country from the tender age of 18 to 28. Why? Because those who have joined Navy after 71 December, that is from 72 till date, they don't have the medals which I have. Those who are joined before 71 and left after 71, only those people have the medals. Last 40 to 43, 40 plus years, people who have served in Navy, they haven't got the medal. And how many may be surviving today? And I thank the Almighty for keeping me alive. Be in this beautiful year, 50th year of the victory. Friends, what I could gain was today, I feel very proudly, I will show you. This is the medal I got. 3 medals. One with a national flag sign is there, that is 25th year of independence. Next one is Sangram medal, war medal. Next to that star is there, that indicates the western sector where we fought the war. With kind permission, today I am so excited. With all your kind permission, if you permit me, I want to wear this medal in front of you. This is the second opportunity I am getting to express this. Thank you very much. 1 minute. Thank you, friends.
Thank you.
This experience changed. Why I am excited? Because this is the thing. Even after so much of insult, why I felt bad? Let me explain to you. Why I felt bad? Because soon after leaving Navy, I got married and I was without job, and then I got a job in HMT Watch Factory for Tumkur, very prestigious factory. That was the world's biggest factory where 2 million watches were produced that in under one roof. In collaboration with Citizen, I worked in the project stage. I joined and I never bothered. I got the job, that was sufficient. So I worked for 1 year. And later I realized I was appointed in the cadre, in the lowest cadre, and in the cadre of sweepers and sanitary helpers. I was appointed in that cadre. I felt insulted and I felt very, very bad. I fought for my grade. I fought nearly 2 years and I really felt humiliated that time. If anybody said ex-serviceman, I used to say, what it has given me. Even this medal, what I proudly own today, I never bothered to keep it. It was my wife who felt proud, and the ribbon and everything had gone. So she took that medals and put it in her jewelry box and kept it. 2 years back, when I looked at it in a different way and I was searching for it, and then she gave me. And recently, I got it ribboned again to wear it. That is the reason I was not feeling comfortable. But when I got these 2-3 statistics, I am the very, very raised, very few thousand may be alive today. Out of 1.5 billion people, few thousands are alive, and I am one among them. That is the thing which has propelled me actually. That has changed the whole perception of my life itself. That's what happens, friends. When you look at things in a different way, the thing you look at will change. It will change. When you are in problem also, if you look at only problem, that looks very heavy. So you look at that problem in a different angle, you will find the solution, and that itself will change the life.
Thank you, Mr. Narendra. Thank you, Mr. Narendra. I really love your presentation. I'm very sorry to interrupt you. I know it's a great emotional moment. We people are safe conducting a program like this. It's only because of you. I don't know whether my salute is right. Is this the way? How do we do it?
Yes.
Okay, right. Thank you so much. You need a standing ovation from everybody. It was a heartfelt moment, certainly a golden moment indeed, very nostalgic. We could see the emotions that you got towards the country, towards the service. We are very, very indebted to you, sir. Thank you so much for honoring the platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And we look forward to your presentation in the PTS. You have been a great patron of PTS. You have been attending all the sessions, and this golden moment you should continue sharing in the PTS platform as well, sir. Right, so continue doing service. We really love you, love your service, love your dedication, love your emotion, sir. May we have many more people like you who have served for this nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I couldn't go through last two. Thank you.
We will certainly have it sometime going forward, sir.
Thank you, sir.
If you've got a Sundays free, we'll certainly have it those days. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's very emotional. It's very emotional. Yeah, we can understand the emotions of it. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Right. Now, friends, as we have been following this, we'd like to DP to this Durga Prasad to put the audience poll on the screen, please.
Yes, friends, the poll has been launched for Mr. Narendra. Content, concept, structuring, delivery, and slide presentation. Go ahead and cast your votes. 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest you feel for the content, likewise for all the other criteria. If you don't find any criteria, please scroll down, you'll find all the 5. We've got another minute to go. Another 30 seconds. Ten seconds more, go fast. And the poll is ending now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Otio.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Narendra Nayak. It's certainly wonderful. It's always a pleasure having you on stage with us. I've seen you in so many platforms of PTS, and you've been really a great participant. You always are the first one to be part of it, and we need the discipline that you have and the dedication that you have for the motherland. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot once again. I've got no words to appreciate what you have done to our platform. Thank you so much. We are really indebted to you, and people like you are serving this nation. Thank you so much. Well, friends, I'm not tired and fed up of asking you to support this platform. The reason being, when the cause is noble, there's nothing wrong in asking. That's what they say. When something is good, show it, the achievement, trumpet we say. So therefore, once again, I urge you all to support this platform. The reason being, we are calling it as a world-class trainer platform. That means we want to honor people world-class awards, and that costs us a lot of money. So your budget is close to 6 lakh rupee, and we really want to honor the winners. And no participant is going to shell a paisa for this program. No panelist is going to spend. If at all you're spending on pay one, it's only because that you are going to benefit from a program which is about 12,000 rupees, and you're going to pay what you want. And that's a very good opportunity. And I can tell you, we are looking at 1,000 people to attend the program. So we are really not telling you talking big. We want to make it big. We want every platform of ours to have 500 to 1,000 people attending our webinars, be it free webinar or paid webinar. And we intend to develop this community. So we need your support to ensure on 25th of April, we have 1,000 people in, and each one of us can make it happen. Pay what you want. So in order to reiterate that fact, I would request Mr. Durga Prasad to kindly play the video once again.
Come, friends, join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it correctly. Conquer the world. Wife, husband, or children, peer, subordinate, or even your boss, friend, foe, or a complete stranger. Believe me, no one is going to be immune to your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand, what is this video about? This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In Who Are You Talking To, I will give you valuable insights, principles, and teach you tactics to influence people and get them to do what you want. Well, before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the number one leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2,300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. Two psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop. Who are you talking to? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Right, friends, you'll be having the link. Kindly register yourself, pay what you want to pay, donate, be there, and more importantly, you're also getting something in return to attend the workshop, a 4-hour workshop on April 25th, morning 10:30 to 12:30 and 2 to 4. And I can bet that you will go back saying, it certainly is a memorable moment. I can tell you that much. I can guarantee you with the commitment of Mr. Arun Subramaniam in wanting to make this platform good and giving the best, it's going to happen. So let's make it happen. And I look forward to everybody joining and spreading the message and get 1,000 people on the platform. As we said, every program of ours should have 1,000 people coming in. That's also our target. And this is going to provide people with the opportunity to showcase their expertise as well. And to get 1,000 odd people on a platform, it takes about few thousands of rupees. Let me tell you that. I'm into training. I'm into doing this marketing to get people for my programs. And I understand how much of thousands we need to spend to get 50 people to attend an online program. But here, it's all provided by TTBC for you. Kindly avail this opportunity. Make this platform big so that each one of us can really be big. Thank you. And now, friends, we are getting into the fourth speaker presenter. A very, very important topic, a very interesting topic. It talks about importance of movement for human beings. Well, a very important element, the reason being Homo sapiens of the 21st century are a species with primitive design, but living in a digital world. What is the importance of this design? Why hasn't man evolved? Let's join the speaker who is going to throw a lot of light on this importance of human movement. And I'm sure this is going to be a 30-minute of enrichment. And we have got another presenter. And I want you all to stay till the end, till the time we say good night, and honor the platform and not leave in between. I certainly appreciate you for that and sincerely expect you to stay on. So our speaker has got a great profile, an educator, a teacher, trainer, 22 years school leader, author and founder of Let's Read program, expert speaker on parenting talk show on Channel Win. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my immense pleasure and privilege to welcome and introduce the speaker to you. Let's welcome Mrs. Asma Zaidi. Over to you, Asma.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, very much loud and clear.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Do I have the permission to share the screen?
Yes.
I don't have it yet. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And thank you so much to the management of this program for giving us this wonderful opportunity. I'm just waiting for my screen sharing rights so that I can start the presentation. Can you please share it to Asma Zaidi, the screen sharing rights?
Sorry, Mr. Mohan has some technical issues. He's not able to do it. He's trying to transfer the host to me. I'll do.
Okay. Oh, I think I got it.
Oh, good.
Right, so let's dive into the topic for today. It is the importance of movement, and I'm sure all of you are wondering why it's such an important topic. But I think with everything that I'm seeing as an educator and over the past few years, with what I've seen in the children as a counselor, what I've seen with families, I think movement is something that we take for granted, and it is something that is much, much more than what comes to your mind superficially. So before I start, I'd like to say that I want you all to participate in the presentation, and I would love for you to write your answers in the chat. I will see the chat regularly. So when I'm asking a question, please don't on your mic, but you can give me the answers in the chat, and I want you to interact with me through that. So when I say movement, what comes to your mind? Can you write it in the chat window, please? What comes to your mind very quickly? What comes to your mind when you say movement, right? Action, travel, body, teaching kids, progress, yes. Very out of the box ideas, waves, work, yes. Change, fantastic. So when we're talking about life, when I'm talking about things around us, what do we think of when we say movement? And we generally think of, for example, animals, jogging, exercise, plants, growth, water. Somebody said waves. And yes, that's exactly what we think of. These are the few things which come to our mind when we say movement. So today we're going to talk about a little more in detail about what I personally feel movement is all about, and it is like an in-depth spiritual understanding of movement, and I want you to link it. I want all the participants to get an idea of what the importance, the gravity, the essence of what I'm trying to say, and relate it to the pandemic world. So we're going to try and make a connection between the macro and the microcosm, and we're going to talk about movement of man. And what is the vestibular organ? I hope I'm going to enlighten a few of you and give you a few ideas that you have never heard of before. And what happens when we don't move and how it is connected to learning and life. So let's look at the microcosm, right? When we look at the grandeur of the universe, it's all about movement, right? Look at the planets. Look at the satellites, look at the stars, look at the earth, the way it is moving, and things which are moving. When we think of movement, we actually think, you know, all the answers that you shared on the chat window, we are actually talking of things which are directly into us. Sometimes we don't look at the bigger picture. We don't look beyond ourselves. We don't look beyond our bodies, beyond our environment. So if you look up into the sky on a night or maybe even in the day, you look up and you see things around you, everything is moving. The planets, the stars, the heavenly bodies, the satellites, the asteroids, the air, the wind, the convention currents, the water, the cycle of life and death, everything is moving. The world, the planet itself is moving. We don't feel the planet moving because it's too huge and we are too small and we are on it. But when you look at the grandeur of the universe and the movement in the universe, you come to realize, you think, there are two aspects to your life. One is the physical being that we are in, and there is a spiritual part that we all are conscious of. Religion doesn't come into play, but just the spiritual aspect of where we are in life and in space. And when we think of that, when we think of the planets, when we think of the movement, when we think of the earth, we feel that we are tiny things in a grand scheme of things, right? And so when you talk of movement, for me, when I talk of movement, it is not something which is just connected to my physical being. I feel it is connected to the entire universe. It's a connection that you have with the universe all around you. And it takes you to deeper variety of levels, right? My internet is showing instability. Can everybody hear me, please? Can you write on the chat window?
Yeah, you're clear. Absolutely.
All right, great. So the universe, the planet, everything connects us to things which happen on the planet, right? The life that we have on the planet, the people that we have on the planet. It connects us to, when you look at the planet moving, you think of the moon, you think of the sun, you think of the day and night, you think of seasons, right? That is movement. It is movement of the earth, movement of the moon, movement of the sun. And through these movements, through the seasons, our connection with us as human beings. We have our festivals connected to it. We have our occasions connected to it. We have birth connected to it. We have our food connected to it, right? All the food that we eat, the things which go in and come out, the things which give birth, and everything is in a cycle and everything is kind of moving. And if you can get this connection of things which are moving in the microcosm and in the macrocosm, you will start understanding the grandeur of things and start understanding the magnanimity of the word movement. So here I would like to stop you for a second and make you think, what would happen if all this grandeur, if things in the macrocosm stop moving? What would happen if the planet stopped moving? What would happen if the sun stopped moving? What would happen if the stars stopped moving? And when I say movement, I don't just mean movement around something like the planets. When I say the sun moving, I'm talking about the rays that come out. I'm talking about the moves. The warmth, the air, the heat that comes out. What's going to happen if things stop moving? And let's not go to such grandeur. Let's talk of simpler things that we are able to answer. Let's take the river for an example. What would happen if a river stops moving? Can you write in the chat window? I wish I could talk to you as if you were my audience, but if you can write in the chat window, what would happen if the river stopped moving? What would happen if the water stopped moving? Right? Think, what would happen to the things inside the river? Would it be the same? Stagnation, life would come to a standstill, yes. There would be moss, there would be a lot of rotting, there would be dead fish. The water that gives life would turn into poison, right? So that means that life itself is connected to movement, right? The water that you are connecting to, if it stops, when it stops moving, the life stops, it starts rotting, the fish start rotting, the life changes, moss starts growing on it, decay starts happening, right? And this same kind of movement can be connected within us. If you look at this slide, you will look at things. If you look at our body, there are multiple things which are happening inside our system. Take a look at the slide, pause and wonder, how many things are moving inside our body? The fluids, the lymphatic system, the cerebrospinal fluids, the nutrients, the food that we eat, the blood that flows, everything is in motion, everything is in movement. Whether you go from the macro body to the tiny cells inside your system, and you take a look at the slide on your right, at the diagram on your right, you can see movement of materials and particles, whether it's air or oxygen or nutrients, in and out of the cell. So movement is happening at cellular level, and as educated people, we know that movements happen even at the atomic level, right? So when movement is happening inside the body, there's movement even inside the brain. Everything that, every time your body moves, the brain kind of sends signals because it is connected to your body, and the brain moves and the brain expands, right? So in a way, everything that you are doing, everything that you're learning is connected to your brain, and the brain is constantly learning through the movement that you have in your hands and through the movement that you do in your legs. It learns what to do and what not to do, and in the process, it expands and it grows. So from your body, from your growth, to your mind, to your brain, everything is connected to movement. And if you can pause over here, you can pause and you can think about the grandeur of the universe and your place in it. If you can think how the air that is around us, the warmth that is around us, the water that is around us is connected and is a part of our body and is a part of our system, right? And we are connected to the universe in ways that are very mysterious and enigmatic. The movement of planets, suns, wind, water, life and death, everything is, if you think about it, connected to movement, right? And it constantly changes us in terms of who we are, what our thought process is, in terms of our growth, in terms of our perspectives, you know, and the change that we feel inside our body is the only thing that is constant in a way, right? So when you're talking about your life and your body, where exactly does this movement start? Actually, it starts even before birth. It starts before conception. So for the sake of simplicity, let's say from the time of conception to when the fetus is born, the process of birth itself, everything is connected to movement. The baby inside the womb moves. If it doesn't move, there is no life. And in this movement, there is a mystery, there is nature, there is learning. For scientists now know that if there was no movement, then the body wouldn't grow. So, friends, our body is built to move in three-dimensional space. It is designed to move in three-dimensional space. And as we go ahead, I'd like to talk to you about an organ that is formed inside the fetus when the fetus is 4 weeks old. It is called the vestibular organ, and it plays a very vital role in the movement of our bodies. So this vestibular system is found in our ears, and it has a tiny amount of cerebrospinal fluid that moves in the cochlea and moves in the ears. And how many of you, I will pause here and ask you a question. How many of you have faced vertigo? How many of you are sick when you travel in the car? How many of you, feel dizzy? Anybody here who feels dizzy or has vertigo? Yes? Girija,
And
you,
even
anybody else?
listeners will
I recovered from vertigo.
Please don't speak. You can chat right in the chat window. Right? So it is amazing that such a small fluid inside our ears is connected to movement. And this movement after birth of a little infant has to be there for the body to function well, right? If it is not there, then the baby goes through a lot of trauma and hinders his learning. So this little system, this vestibular system, is has to be constantly activated. The loops that you see, the fluid should constantly be liquid and should be moving in these small, tiny tubes. It seems like such a micro thing, but actually it creates such havoc if it solidifies, and if it troubles you, you cannot stand straight, right? So remember how in the olden days, the midwives and the people used to have children in a small jhula. They used to tie a dupatta and the children would swing on it. Yeah, remember those things? Have you seen it in movies, even if you haven't done it with your own children? If you think of the merry-go-rounds that used to be there in the playgrounds, and they are extinct now. I don't see any merry-go-rounds anywhere. Remember in your childhood how many swings there would be in the parks? And now when I go outside into the garden, all these things, the swings, the cradle, the movement of the baby to and fro, these things activated the vestibular system. And they've played a very, very vital role in activating the vestibular system. But now when there is no activation of the vestibular system, it sort of deactivates, doesn't die, but becomes dormant and creates havoc in your body. So let's pause for a second again and think about the design of man. Look at the primitive man and look at the modern man. His clothes are different, but what about his body? Is the body of man different from the body of modern man? Most of the birds and animals and trees and sparrows and insects and fish have evolved over time. What about man? Has man evolved? What has evolved? I think the only thing that we learn about in biology class is your appendix. And apart from that, nothing has really changed. He still has 2 legs, 2 hands, 1 head, a neck, eyes, nose, ears, tongue, same way, same body, same movement. The design of man has been for an environment where he has to move, where he has to crawl, where he has to climb, where he has to swim, where he has to thrive. So it is amazing that the design of man has not changed, but the environment in which we live in has changed a lot. And this environment is what causes restrictions on movement because of our lifestyle, because of the way we live. So there are 3 things which are very important in this design of man. One is movement, one is the rhythm, the internal rhythm of your body, and the external rhythm of the universe that you live in, the environment that you live in. And the rhythm and movement of breathing that you have to be conscious about, which most people are not, right? So what you do from climbing to swimming to crawling to climbing walls and walking and running is connected to movement, and it is extremely important for the development of beings. And if this doesn't happen, then there is a lot of problem. And children these days and adults also are suffering quite a lot, right? So everything that we know is connected to movement. All learning is connected to movement. And we have something called the midline. This is your vertical midline, and there is across your belly, there is a horizontal midline. So it's very important for your midlines to cross, for them to go from left to right and from right to left. And it is this crossing of the midlines that is so important for the social emotional development of your of yourself. So crossing the midline is the key for physical and emotional development as well. Did you know that it was important for emotional development? It is the key for the development of your brain, for using the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, for using your brain completely, for memory, for retention, for learning. So your movement, the movement of your body, is constantly linked to the learning that you have. So, or if I should reverse this, I would say the learning that you have is linked to the movement that you do. Now think of the children in your lives, think of the children at home, think of children in school, think of the people at home, even if it is the elderly people, and think of how restricted their life has become and how restricted their movement has become, right? And in this design of man, if you look at schools, if you look at our world, we have replaced nature with artificial things. Instead of climbing hills and mountains, in the concrete jungle that we live in, we have made climbing walls. Instead of climbing trees, we have put playgrounds. Instead of stepping on stones and jumping across the river, we have put tumblers and plastic. Instead of hopping and skipping and swimming in the mud, swimming in the pool, swimming in a pond, we have swimming pools. We have artificial swimming pools. So because movement is important and educators know that movement is important, we have created artificial spaces and taken away the natural space for movement, which is perfectly fine as long as movement does take place. Of course, we cannot all live in places of natural beauty, right? So when you don't have, the mountain, you bring the mountain to you, right? So when we don't have that natural space to explore, we create artificial means for movement in the modern world, which is extremely important. And so I hope that I have established that not just on a physical level, on a spiritual level and physical level, movement is extremely important. And it is impossible to educate the mind without involving the body. Learning is thinking and movement is integrated with it. Whether you talk of cognitive development, or you talk of language development, or you talk of sensorial or social emotional development, everything is linked to movement. So I will again pause here and get you to think, what happens to a child who is a perfectly normal child but has fractured his leg? What will happen to that child? When you fracture a leg, what happens to you? You are restricted, your movement is restricted, you're on a wheelchair, you can't go out, you can't move, you can't play. So maybe your digestion, it's not just your leg that is suffering, by the way. It is your mental health that is suffering. It is your digestion that is suffering. Your social emotional learning is suffering. It hinders your making friends. It hinders your, going out. It hinders your sanity. It hinders your cognitive development, because if you don't move, your brain becomes lazy, it becomes passive, and it's so hard to focus and concentrate. So again, movement is required for focus, concentration, for learning, for development, for language. And as we were talking of the womb and we were talking of walking, I want you all to understand that there's no time to explain how and give you references, but speech, language, learning is connected very, very deeply with movement. And it is only when the child has a rhythm, has learned how to breathe, that he's able to take sound and is able to speak, right? And this whole scenario, if you connect with our pandemic life, if you connect with what is happening right now in our world, in our houses, in our homes, in our communities, in our societies, in our schools. We are constantly in front of the laptop. We are constantly watching screens. We have restricted movement. Our children are in front of the screens. They're eating in front of the screens. What happens when you're constantly in front of the screen? These are all the things that take place. You have personality disorder, you have learning difficulties, you have anxiety. Children are so accustomed to instant gratification. I don't want this, I want this. I don't want this color, I want this color. I don't want this sound, I like this music. I don't like this music, I don't like her hair. So constantly their need is being satisfied through the screen, and it is leading to a lot of disorder, a lot of learning difficulties in children. And even as adults, if you see, I think in the pandemic, one of the biggest killers is not COVID. I think it is loneliness. I think it's isolation. So it is lack of movement. So in this pandemic times, one of the biggest messages I'd like to give you for your own personal growth and understanding is the importance of movement, and how through a variety of ways it is very important for us to move. Whether you do yoga, or you 2 or 3 times you do your leisure activities, go out for a walk, whether you have recreation, whether you go swimming, whether you go for playing football or squash or table tennis, or even if you live in a small house, have a blindfold, play with your children, play carom, run around, have fun, laugh, and move. Movement is the key to life and the key to living. So I hope I have been able to establish the link between movement and learning. And this is the end of my presentation. I would love to answer any questions that you might have.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thanks, Asma. Asma, it was a great presentation, good visuals. Importance of movement is very important, and not living a sedentary life. Okay. Something I'll give you. I allow one question, please. There's time for one question, if anybody has.
Sure.
May I interfere, Asma?
Yeah. Yeah.
Another question here.
Yes, hello.
I'm another question speaking, a pharmaceutical man. I really appreciate all your concept and examples regarding movement. But one point I want to bring to your kind attention, that vestibular, that apparatus is only to find out.
Mr. Ananthakrishnan, please, let us not have any correction here. Please, it's my sincere, honest request. And we will leave it at that.
Okay, so Asma, it was a great presentation. You did drive home the point that movement is very, very essential, which we had taken things for granted, and you brought it so beautifully from the cosmos to our day-to-day life. I think it's a wonderful presentation that you did. And thank you so much for opening people's eyes to tell them that move and don't be stagnant. Wonderful. Okay, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming and ordering a platform. We look forward to you making presentation in a Participate platform as well. Because I know
Thank
you got
you so much for the opportunity.
I know you. I know you've got so much to offer, and you can certainly value add to the forum as well. So right now I request Durga Prasad to go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go with the poll. I'm launching the poll right away. Friends, please cast your vote. Poll is started. Content, concept, structuring, delivery, and slide presentation. What do you feel? 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. Keep scrolling down, we get one criteria up the other. 1 more minute to go. Seconds. I really appreciate the level of participation all the participants have in voting for all the people, all the competitors. Thank you so much. You're for such a wonderful set of people. Another 5 seconds. We are stopping the poll. And thank you so much. Danny, over to you.
Right. Thank you, Asma, for your presentation. As you rightly put it, movement is very important. And even for this platform to move, for the world's best trainer platform to move, to become big, we need a lot of support and help. So I am fervently appealing to people to ensure we are looking at something very, very big. And for anything big to happen, a lot of effort has to be put in. And there are lots of people in this platform selflessly putting in the effort. Even participants have come forward to volunteer to be leaders of weekly teams. That is the involvement that we have. We want to recognize everybody, and we want to have 1,000 people attending Mr. Arun's Pay What You Want. And more importantly, have 1,000 people attending every webinar of ours. So therefore, we need your support. I again ask Durga Prasad to play the video for the one last time.
Come, friends, join with me on my journey to conquer the world. Yes, you understood it correctly. Conquer the world. Wife, husband, or children, peer, subordinate, or even your boss, friend, foe, or a complete stranger. Believe me, no one is going to be immune to your charm and your ability to influence after you complete this workshop. That is a promise from me to you, from me, Arun, your success coach. Let us first understand, what is this video about? This video is a prelude to my program, workshop, Who Are You Talking To? In Who Are You Talking To, I will give you valuable insights, principles, and teach you tactics to influence people and get them to do what you want. Well, before going further, it will only be appropriate that we understand what exactly is this persuasion and why is it adjudged as the #1 leadership trait to succeed in life. The study and research of persuasion goes back 2,300 years. In the year 350 BC, Aristotle had made an observation. Rhetoric and elocution are the essential traits to become a successful politician. Since then, research has been going on the subject of persuasion and influencing people. Why? Because influencing people is all about bringing about a significant change in their beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivation, and behavior. The necessity for all these was tremendously felt during Second World War, and research on persuasion took up real speed. But it was not before 1980s that any result could be got. Two psychologists, Kahneman and Tversky, propounded the unified theory of the mind and thereby gave valuable insights and techniques to influence the mind. Kahneman received the Nobel Prize for this work in 2002. Based on his research, my 42 years of experience and life coaching, I have compiled this workshop, Who Are You Talking To? Through this workshop, you will be able to conquer the world. You will be able to tame the wildest and motivate even the meekest. I am reminded of that great saying, the tongue can paint what the eyes cannot see, and what the ears cannot hear, the heart can feel. Come, friends, join with me in this workshop and get ready to conquer the world.
Right. One thing you must know, if Mr. Arun promises, he delivers, because he is a man of words. And Mr. Arun does not promise very easily. And you can take it. You're making a great decision to empower yourself first and to contribute to a great community. So the link is shared. Kindly register 1,000 people for the workshop, and you're going to have a great platform for everybody to grow, for everybody to make a career and make great things happen. The link is there. Okay. Right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate patronage. Let's make it happen. Okay. My fervent appeal to you, it really is a great cause that you're on. And now we have got the last speaker of the a very, very interesting topic, because we all want to know what are these three vital questions. I'm asking myself what it is going to be. And if I can get the answers to it, I'm sure I made my life, right? So I'm sure each one of us will have the benefit of waiting till the end, because these three questions can probably change your life. And the speaker is a renowned person. He has completed his Bachelor's of Computer Science from the University of Pune. Being a completely people's person and avid reader of spiritual and self-help books, he decided to pursue a career in training where he could effectively impart his knowledge. He is licensed global psychogeometric facilitator, India's first certified three vital questions facilitator, internationally licensed Heal Your Life seminar leader, diploma in experiential education, life coach, business coach, and parenting coach, and an NLP practitioner. He is also a licensed Access Bar practitioner, certified Oro reader and healer, certified chakra leader and healer, pranic healer. I'm sure we are going to have all these great inputs from this person. Let's welcome Mr. Prantik. Over to you, Mr. Prantik.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, all of you, for waiting till this time. Last speaker. Okay. So let's start off directly with what are these three vital questions. I would recommend there's some screen. Okay. I would recommend everybody to sit with pen and diary so that you can take some notes. So there are a lot of things to be taken care. Also, I would appreciate if you can answer a few questions in the chat box. There are a lot of things happening, and we will keep it continuously interactive. I have kept the chat box ready in front of me also to read the chats, that the answers that you'll be writing. A lot of screens coming up, popping up. Okay. Three vital questions. It is a very, very powerful tool to handle the workplace and personal drama.
Mr. Prantik, if you can come closer to the mic, it will be better. You're audible, you can be better.
Okay, fair enough. Is it audible now?
Yeah, it is, but yeah, it's absolutely fine, but a little more volume could be there. Okay.
All right, raise my voice. Okay, the first task, please draw a house. Draw the picture of your house. Draw the picture of a house, and once you have drawn, then put in the chat box done, and then we'll see what kind of picture you have drawn. There is no competition in the quality of drawing. I just want the picture. Okay, done. Great. Just show me, open your camera and just show me the picture that you have drawn. Bring it close to the camera. If anybody can. Okay, Mr. Narendra. Okay, yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Suraj. Great. So what the 3-4 pictures that I saw, you have drawn a picture which is very much similar to this one. Now a question. Why did you draw that kind of house? Are you living in such a house, or have you ever lived in such a house that you have drawn? You can write the answer in the chat box. Are you living, or have you ever lived in such a house that you have drawn? Second question.
No.
Is this the way nowadays the buildings or the homes are built? The third question. Why do you think you drew the house the way you drew? Why did you draw such a house? We learned it that way, some artistic ones, easy, school time. Okay, that means your old habits have been triggered now, and the old habits you have just made it operate right now. Now the question is, the style of buildings have changed. You may not be living in such a home right now. Still, why did you draw? Something inside of you has triggered to draw the house, something that you have learned right from the childhood. Why? Let's go deep into that. Look at the evolution of a computer. It is so amazing to see the way the computers are evolved. If you look at the computer, the first computer that you can see on your screen, some 20, 30 years back, nowadays the computers don't even look that way. Now the computers are much more slimmer, faster, and smaller. Computers nowadays do not look like computers. They have become tablets and sometimes watches. However, the tangible look of the hardware, it generally gives an idea that hardware decides how the software to work. However, it is exactly the opposite. It is the software which tells the hardware how to operate, how to work. And every month, we get a message in the laptop or the phone that we are using, update, latest update, update your computers. Now just think over, if you do not update the computer, what happens to the computer? If you do not update the mobile phone, what happens to the mobile phone? How does it operate? You can write the answer in the chat box. If you don't update the computer and the laptop, what happens? It becomes outdated, okay? It lags, it slows down, perfect. Now, this is computer. Let's talk about human. The human has evolved this way. In terms of the hardware, the physical body, we are stuck with the hardware part that some 2,000 years back, and we cannot change the hardware part of the body. The only way a human can now evolve is updating the software. And I call that as human operating system, the human software. What is this operating system? What is this human operating system? Basically, it is how you view the world. It works like a lens that filters the complex reality around us and gives the data that we are looking for. Most importantly, this human operating system, it provides us with the basic information, how the world is, our assumption, beliefs, and most importantly, it influences all our behavior. What is this human operating system? Let's understand something that I called as the lens test. Okay. What is the color of my shirt? What is the color of my shirt?
White.
White, right? And what is the color now?
Red.
Reddish yellow.
Reddish yellow, right? Use any.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Red.
For you, it is white, yellow, whatever it is, whatever you see. Now, I want someone to volunteer, someone who has been wearing spectacles for more than 5 or 10 years. I would ask that person to unmute.
Okay.
Okay, may I know your name,
Joseph
sir?
Williams.
Mr. Joseph. Mr. Joseph, since how many years have you been
For the
wearing the
last
spectacles?
20 years. Yeah.
20 years. So by wearing the spectacles for the last 20 years, you got used to your
Yes, I
spectacles?
am used to.
Yes. And do you consciously remember that you're wearing a spectacle?
Yes.
Do you
Sometimes not.
Sometimes not, right? Sometimes there is a phase that sometimes we are wearing the spectacle and still searching for spectacle. Where are my spectacles?
Yes.
Happens, sir. And has anybody experienced this? You are wearing the specs and you have gone to sleep, or you are wearing the specs and gone for a shower? Anybody has?
No.
I did it.
Somebody must have done that. Okay. Everybody has different experience. So now, Joseph, I have sent a parcel to you, and you will receive it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
In that parcel, you are going to get a new pair of spectacles.
Okay.
The spectacle does not have here. It has a soft leather.
Yeah.
And so that it fits on your face very beautifully.
Yeah.
And does not pain you.
Mm-hmm.
And the condition is you have to keep on wearing that spectacles for next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Even when sleeping, even while taking a bath.
Mm-hmm. It is uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's why I've kept soft leather and Velcro.
Yeah, I should get acquainted to it, no?
You get acquainted. Now, the beauty of that spectacle is the spectacle has red tinted glasses.
Oh.
So is it possible that
No.
after 5 years wearing the spectacle for 24 hours a day, you will also use this red color glasses?
I won't like it.
You won't like it, but will you get used to it if you wear it every day?
Yeah, that is obviously yes.
That's the question. So now the lens that you're wearing continuously, you get used to it.
Yes.
After 10 years, when we meet you, when we all love you, and just say beautiful colors, yellow, red, blue, black, brown, and how does the world look to you?
Colorful.
But you are wearing the red specs.
Yeah, I cannot enjoy.
It will be monocolor.
Yes.
Now tell me, if we are here to help you explain after 10 years, you're still wearing the red specs. I am saying the world is multicolor. Will you agree to that?
No, because I have not experienced it.
Exactly. So that is where the whole idea all about conflicting, all the conflicts that arise between two people, two human beings, is because of the color, the difference of color of the lenses that we each carry. And we do not remember since how many years we have been wearing that lens, the way we have been viewing the world, and it has created all the conflicts in our mind, the judgment, the assumptions, and the beliefs. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacob, for participating. Okay, so let's understand human operating system. How can we identify our own human operating system? What is my operating system? By this formula, which is called as FISBE, F-I-S-B-E, FISBE. Okay, what is this FISBE? We'll come to that. But another question, you can write an answer in the chat box, all of you. Choose a car, A or B. You can put in the chat box, A or B. A, okay, A. Good, B, okay. You can choose anything. I'm not going to sponsor any of them. Just a question. How would you like to see yourself and your car? Would you like to see yourself and the car along with your loved one, with your family, driving along a hillside, enjoying the breeze and music? Would you like to enjoy this way? Or would you like to see your car and yourself in a maintenance shop? Right? What could be the answer? The first one. Great. However, once a while, if you take the car to the garage for maintenance, it is good. Once a while. But just imagine, what if out of 30 days, 12 days, your car is in the maintenance shop. Out of 30 days, 12 days, the car is in the maintenance shop. Do you think the vehicle is in optimum state? And do you think the vehicle is highly efficient?
No.
No, thank you. Now consider this vehicle as your organization and answer the same question. Now just imagine 40% of the manager's time goes in just managing conflicts, managing differences among people. So do you think your organization is performing in the most optimum level? And do you think the organization is profitable?
No.
Thank you. So now just think over, it's not just the organization. Go to your family. How many times there have been challenges in family, just handling conflicts in the family? How many days, how many hours, how many months? Now coming to you, identifying that continuously is create that thing, that FISB. I now board is called as FISB. The FISB model is F is focus, IS is the inner state, BE is the behavior. So that is FISB. Okay, is a mental model. That is how every human being operates. That is a human operating system. It is common to all. To be able to understand it much more better, let's understand it in a different way. Let me give you an example. How many of you love beaches? Would you like to go on a beach, evening time? It is soothing. Okay, it's beautiful breeze out there. And there, when you reach, you see a beautiful couple in most serene way. You can see love pouring out of them. And you just go. The idea is not to disturb them, but just imagine you go to them and you ask them, my dear sir, my madam, whatever you want to address, bhaiya, bhabhi, whatever you want to address. You just ask them, how are you feeling? What would be the answer? What would be the answer about how is the environment? How are you feeling now in this environment?
Enjoying.
Enjoying, fine, good. That's beautiful. Now you move towards the right side and you see this couple and you ask the same question. How are you feeling, my dear brother and sister? What will be the answer? Right? I believe you got the answer.
Ridiculous.
They would be upset. They would be saying, she is not understanding, he is not understanding, families are not understanding, whatever it is. Now just imagine, it's the same external environment for both of them. Both of them are on the same beach, but both of them are operating out of two internal human operating systems. That is called as human orientation, how they are operating. Now, if I have to link with this, go to the first couple. The focus of the first couple is everything that is happening good in their life. Everything that is happening good in their surrounding. They're looking at the ocean, they're looking at the love within each other, they're looking at the beautiful weather. Focus is all good. And what kind of inner state, the emotional state they are into? Their inner state is happiness, is bliss. And how is the behavior? It's all about love, romance, and appreciation. Go to the second couple. The focus is everything that is going bad. The inner state is stressful. The behavior is reactive. And that is where I would like to share that many of the people, most of the people have one default orientation, which is fear or reactive orientation, which is coming from the Homo sapiens. One question, what is wrong in this map?
It's upside down.
Upside down.
Upside down.
But is there anything wrong in this?
Nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong, exactly. There's nothing wrong in this picture. But from today, I tell you, all of you will start using this map. Will you be comfortable?
Sometimes, sometimes.
It will take some time.
Yeah.
But today, all of a sudden, I'll say that this is the new map that you have to operate. It will become uncomfortable because we are not used to it. We are used to this map. So this is a default orientation. You give this map, it's very easy to read. I'll give you the other map, very difficult. Okay. That's the default. This is the default orientation. That's a new orientation I'm talking about. Now, just think about this experience. Imagine, what if I put you into a tube, stuffed tube head first? How would you feel? And it is a cold, confining tube. How will you feel? Write the answer in the chat box.
Suffocated.
Suffocated. And you're not allowed to move in that tube.
Dying.
Not able to breathe.
And for
Dying.
together at single time. I have put you, and for hours, 4 or 5 hours, I'll ask you not to move. How will you feel now?
It's all dying.
And I will keep on making scratching sound outside the tube. How will you feel now?
Irritating.
Irritating. But will you believe that many people volunteer and pay good amount to get this experience? Can you believe that?
Water park.
No. MRI scan. Now the whole idea is, the moment I gave you some description, the whole mindset went to something, the focus went to what is going wrong with this. Okay, you thought you will be constrained. It's feeling like dying. It's very irritating. The focus went easily to what went negative. What is wrong in this moment? That is our default orientation. And the default orientation is called as problem orientation. The focus is always on problem. What is going wrong? What is not happening good in this? Okay, whenever you think of this, like I was taking you through the MRI experience. Okay, you are imagining yourself in the tube. When you focus that it's problematic, okay, it's stuffed. The inner state, what kind of inner state you were experiencing?
Bad.
Fear.
Fear, anxiety, whatever you want to do. It was a negative emotion. And what kind of reaction, what kind of behavior you gave me? It was a reactive behavior. I die, I'll get suffocated, it's irritating. So mostly all the behavior that comes out is out of these 4 behaviors, okay, these reactive behaviors. One is the fight. You get irritated, you get aggressive, you raise your voice and you fight for that situation, for that event with that person. The second could be flight. I don't wish to handle this. I do not want to handle this. I'll rush away. I'll move on. Third, freeze, unable to do anything. Oh God, what happened? Somebody come and save me. I'm not able to think it. Freezed. Okay. And fourth is appease. Okay, no problem. Okay, it's my mistake. I will take care of it. Let's work it out somewhere. All of us use either of these 4 reactive behaviors. Please choose which one is your dominant behavior. Okay, and the interesting part is you choose one. Let's say, for example, you choose fight. That's your dominant behavior. That's your default orientation behavior. If that does not work, you can also shift to the other part. Okay, if the first thing does not work. So please write down, be aware, get into awareness. Which is your first dominant default orientation? Is it fight, flight, freeze, or a... You can, I mean, you need not have to answer in the chat box or keep writing in the diary. It's your self-awareness.
Flight.
Flight. Many people flight. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, what happens is, out of this, of anything that you use is coming out of reaction. That's why it is also called as default problem reactive orientation. It's again problem orientation because the focus is always on problem. What is happening wrong in my life? What is happening wrong in this event? The second couple. Okay. Now let's go deep with this problem orientation. What is wrong with this problem orientation? Now, somebody answered flight. Somebody said fight. Just think over. What is the intention of that reaction that you just displayed? Like you flight, you flew away from that situation. What is the intention behind that action? Why did you fly?
I don't want the problem.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So you were basically avoiding or getting rid of the problem. Okay. I don't want it. So the orientation of problem, default orientation is, I don't want it. I want to get rid of it. I want to escape out of it. Understand, it is not solving. It is just escaping. It is just avoiding it. Okay. So now the whole problem orientation, whatever you use, okay, you use fight, flight, freeze, or appease, whatever you use, the intention is to just get rid of the problem. Now let's understand the depth of it. How does it create more problem? Let's say, for example, I'll give you an example. You had asked your subordinate, give me a report by tomorrow morning 9 a.m. because I have to show it to my boss for getting the annual report, annual sales budget to be done. So I need the data report by tomorrow morning 9 a.m. You had asked your subordinate. Morning 9 a.m. when you reach, you see there is no report on the desk. You call the subordinate, where is the report? Sir, it will take me more 1 hour. And you shout it. You use the fight reaction, okay? The first one, the fight reaction. Now, let's say, for example, the reaction that you used, it can be fight, whatever is yours. You used for the fight reaction, and that reaction was successful. That means you got the result. After half an hour, you got the report. Okay, so this is the situation. Now, you shouted, you got the report. What happens to the intensity of the problem? What happens to the intensity of the problem? You can choose to unmute.
Deeper.
Sorry?
It has become bigger, wider.
Okay, now you shouted, but you got the report now.
Actually, that problem got solved, I will believe.
Exactly, the problem got solved. Now the intensity of the problem is reduced. So now if the problem...
Sir, M. Chidambaram, another problem will come now.
I'll come to that. Let's go step by step. So, mute the person. Thank you. Okay. So now you have shouted, you got the report. So the intensity of the problem reduced. Now, when the intensity of the problem is reduced, what happens to your anxiety?
That also reduces.
It also reduces. Fantastic. The anxiety also reduces. When the problem reduces, when the anxiety reduces, what happens to your reactive behavior?
Reaction also gets
reduced.
It also reduces. Fantastic.
Responding.
Okay.
It becomes.
It's not yet responding. It is still reaction because you're shouting.
Reaction is subdued.
Reaction is subdued. That would be the right word. Reaction is subdued. Now a question. Now because you have got the report, your anxiety is reduced and your reaction is reduced. What happens to the focus on the problem? The way you were focusing on the problem half an hour before, what happens to the focus of the problem? Intensity of the focus?
Reduces.
That is got solved right now.
Nullified.
It's reduced. Okay. So the focus on the problem is now reduced. Now a question, is the problem actually solved?
Not yet. Not yet.
The problem was not at all solved. It was just temporarily handled. Now, because it was not solved, what happens to the problem that you just fixed?
It remains. It continues.
It may recur.
Repeat.
It becomes part 2 of the problem, return of the problem. So when the problem arises, again, the cycle continues. You're high on anxiety, you're high on reaction. Then you get some results out of it. You again shout. You again you flight, you freeze or appease, whatever you choose to do. That reaction, temporary fixing of the problem. Then there is less of anxiety for some time, less drive to solve the problem, but the problem again arises. How many of you have experienced this?
Almost all.
Exactly, and that is what the challenge is all about. The problem orientation is the focus on the problem only remains till the anxiety is reduced. And anxiety is reduced, you lose the focus on the problem, you're not solving the problem anymore. So that's why it is not a problem solving orientation, it is just a reactive orientation. You're just reacting, and the problem is getting temporarily solved just to get rid of your shout, just to get rid of the problem for some time. Okay, it doesn't permanently solve. And look at the effect, the result of reactive orientation. There was a loss of $350 billion in productivity in US alone. Gallup research. Why? Because 40% of the time, managers spend their time in dealing with interpersonal problems, the internal conflicts, rather than productivity. 40% of the time. You remember the garage example? 12 out of 30 days. Garage. The same thing happens in the relationships. Okay, do you feel stuck in a never-ending cycle of feeling frustrated, hopeless, guilty, and resentful in your relationships? Answer to yourself. Do not write in the chat box. Yes. Are you also constantly trying to fix the same problem, but never ever able to find the solution to? You're giving the best of effort, but you're not able to solve it. These are the effects of problem reactive orientation. How does it work in relationships? Okay, these are the words, these are the language in relationship. I am trapped. I try so hard, but nothing ever improves. I'm quitting. It's over, done. Maybe I was being very unreasonable. If only they change, everything would get better. These are the language in problem reactive orientation in relationships. Okay, and this problem, just let me know how much time am I left with.
You have 4 minutes.
I've got 4 minutes. Okay. So this is a problem orientation which does not work. So the solution is to create a new FISB. Okay, the same mental model, but a new FISB. How do we do that? Let's do a small experiment. Everybody, please cross your arms. Just cross your arms and just observe which hand is on top and which hand is below. Just observe. And while you are seeing it, try to bring it the other way around. Okay, so for me, the left hand was on top and right hand was down. Just try to bring it the other way down. Everybody could do it. You can unmute and answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Initially, it may be difficult, but eventually you could do that. That's the whole idea. The new FISB initially could be tiresome. Initially, will take some effort, but you can do it eventually. So the new FISB is outcome orientation. Now the focus, the F, is on outcome. I know this is the challenge. I know this is the situation. What is the outcome am I willing to create right now? With this outcome orientation, when you're focused on the goal, like for example, this whole program, World Best Trainer, this whole program is completely outcome orientation. Okay, when we are focusing on the outcome, now everybody is okay. Wow, this is the outcome we want to create. We want to create we want to bridge the consumer and the trainer. There are organizations who are looking for best trainers. We are here to provide, create best trainers, and we'll create that bridge. When you are there in the outcome orientation, look at the energy of everybody. Everybody is so inspired. Everybody is so inspired. And now the beauty of it is not just a 1 month game, not a 1 week game. It is continuously done for next 2 or 3 months continuously. So every day it's a small baby step. Yesterday was the first day, today is the second day. Baby step to find the best trainer, create an outcome and provide it to the best organization. So the FISB, the new FISB is focusing on what you really want, bringing out the inner inspiration, and taking daily small steps to reach to the outcome. And this is where the 3 vital question helps you move from default orientation to the outcome orientation. As Mr. Jacob asked, what are those 3 vital questions? So these are the 3 vital questions. Where am I putting my focus? Am I putting my focus on problem or outcome? How am I relating? Am I relating as a victim, or am working as a creator? Am I feeling pathetic? Am I relating like a fighting person? I'm relating myself as a flight person, or am I there to create something new? And what actions am I taking on a daily basis to get those outcomes? So these are the 3 vital questions, okay, which will help you move from default orientation to the outcome orientation. Thank you so much. That was all from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Prantik. It was a good session. It's a very deep session, and you're able to put it in layman's terms so that everybody could understand, because on the platform, we've got people from very many different fields, and from education to corporate to everybody, and you're able to connect with everybody. That's something great. Really like that. And you brought in that concept and the 3 questions. I'm sure taking forward these 3 questions, people can develop themselves greater and work on the outcome. Very wonderfully said. Okay, thank you so much. And now let's leave it to Durga Prasad for the audience poll. Yes, David.
Yeah, polling is starting.
Do I also have to fill it?
Yeah, please.
I won't fill it. Let it be.
It's good self-evaluation.
Friends, criteria, content, concept, structuring, delivery, and slide presentation. 1 is the lowest that you can give for each criteria, 10 is the highest. A minute more. Scroll down to find all the criteria. Thirty seconds to go. We are ending the poll. Thank you everyone.
I think if it is for your smile, you get 100%. Something.
Excellent. Yeah. Very
You are
pleasing
awesome.
person.
You are awesome $1 million. You can market it and make money. Okay. So wonderful, Prantix. Thanks for honoring our platform. We look forward to your continuous presentation here, because 30 minutes is just a teaser for everybody. You can always use our previous platform where we market your programs and make it global. Okay. And we are looking at every program of ours getting about 1,000 people on the platform. So therefore, I thank each one of you for being part of it, of the session. I thank the speakers, Mr. Jayaprakash for emotional intelligence, Abhishek for perception, Mr. Nair for golden moments of life, Asma for movement, the importance of it, and Prantik for the 3 vital questions. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a real honor to have each one of you all here. And we sincerely thank you for being here till the end. We really appreciate that. Now, at this point in time, I'd like to recognize